Now at 5, we are getting ready for our biggest winter storm that we have seen since February 1st, 2011. I'm going to have those details.
Plus, the dash to stock up on essentials. We're going to see how forestaters and businesses are preparing for the storm, and
a disaster declaration in Kentucky following deadly flash flooding over the weekend, and more flooding and snow are expected. I'm Karen Hua with this brutal weather that's gripping a large part of the country.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Prepare to hunker down. We're expecting a big winter storm bringing more snowfall potentially than we've seen in years. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty for the latest.
Yeah, this one is a big boy. Again, we haven't seen one this size since 2011, and it's going to affect everybody in our viewing area. Winter storm warnings go in effect at 6 a.m. for the entire viewing area, and we are all going to get snow. We're not going to get the icy mix like we've had earlier this winter. Already snow picking up northern parts of Kansas. Our band is going to develop right out here, eastern parts of Colorado, and then start to plow toward us later on tonight. If you have been outside, yes, we're above freezing, but the winds are turning out of the northeast and picking up. So as those winds pick up, we aren't in blizzard warnings, but we're at least going to push it as we get into the daytime hours tomorrow. Through the evening, clouds thicken, temperatures drop, and we will not go above freezing again until Saturday. That means you need to start dripping your faucets really right now for the next several days. Cloudy skies this evening. Here comes light snow, mainly after midnight, kind of really picking up along the Kansas-Oklahoma state line. Periods of light snow till about 8 a.m. So that's where we're at right now. Look at the temps into the teens, very windy. Now the snow really gets moving. After 8 a.m., periods of moderate to heavy snow. Here's about the noon hour, periods of moderate to heavy snow through the middle of the afternoon into the evening hours. Once we get past about 10 p.m., the snow will start to taper off. Look at these temps. We're sitting into the single digits. How much snow are we going to get? Most of us, anywhere in this pink or purple, whatever, we're going to be in that 9 to 13 inch range, but there is going to be some isolated 15 somewhere in this purple color. In the blue, 6 to 10, but also some isolated foot amounts in our southern counties. So of course impacts very high snow, no ice, very high cold, very high wind. We're going to talk more about the brutally cold temperatures all coming up here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you soon. As that winter weather approaches, people all across the 4 states are stocking up on supplies. A number of stores have been busy today, including hardware stores and pharmacies, as people rush to get what they need while they still can.
Actually, it's really good to take inventory of your medications, especially the real important ones like blood pressure medications and so forth. Make sure you have around a 5-day supply at least for this round.
If it could snow on Christmas and be 70 degrees year round, I'd be fine with that. My kids, though, they love the snow, so they're ready to go sledding and everything like that. So.
Grocery stores around the area have also been busy today, as some people might be unable to get out of their homes in the day or two or more ahead. For a full list of closings in the area due to winter weather, just scan this QR code. School, government, church closings, and more all listed there. The QR code will take you straight to the closings page of our website. And while you're there, you can also find instructions on how to submit other closings. You can also get the latest road conditions and power outages across the area anytime through this QR code. It'll direct you to links, again, on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, for information for each of the 4 states in our viewing area. It's not just here. Dangerous winter weather is threatening much of our nation. There is more snow, sleet, and heavy rain forecast for much of the midsection and southern states. The storms have pummeled Kentucky over the weekend. They've now claimed 11 lives. Karen Waugh is there with the latest from Bowling Green.
Kentucky rescue crews have already saved at least 1,000 people stranded by floods. Parts of the state were drenched with up to 6 inches of rain.
We had warning that we were going to be flooded. We just didn't know it was going to be this extensive.
Along the Kentucky River, homeowners had a sleepless night.
I went to bed and got up every 2 hours and checked.
So me and my wife, we kind of kept guard for everybody here.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said first responders have worked for days without sleep and implored residents to stay off flooded roads.
It's very important today that we continue to remind folks not to drive through standing water, not to drive around barricades. They are there for a reason.
About 300 roads across the state are flooded, just like this one in Bowling Green. Several structures in this park, like that information sign behind me, are submerged in water. This flood warning has been extended to Tuesday, as Kentucky officials are still in search and recovery mode. Dangerous weather is also coming to Texas, with possibly record-breaking cold by Tuesday.
Some wind chills may be as low as 0 or even -0. After that, going into Wednesday and Thursday, there will be widespread freezing across almost the entire state of Texas.
In Chicago, the driver of this car survived after veering into freezing Lake Michigan. And back in Kentucky, the troubles are far from over. An approaching snowstorm could dump as much as 6 inches. The governor calling this one of the most serious weather events in at least a decade. Karen Hua, CBS News, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
The National Weather Service is warning of life-threatening cold in Montana, with parts of that state predicted to dip as low as 45 degrees below zero. President Trump's negotiating team is preparing to meet with their Russian counterparts tomorrow as the president pushes forward with his plans to try to find a deal to end the war in Ukraine. This comes as Secretary of State Marco Rubio is in Israel for talks with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Israel is promising to open the gates of hell if Hamas does not release all of the remaining hostages. There are fresh concerns for the health of Pope Francis, with the Vatican now saying his bronchitis is presenting a, quote, complex clinical picture. The 88-year-old pontiff will remain in the hospital for an unspecified amount of time, with his treatment for a respiratory tract infection changing. The pontiff's last public appearance was on Friday. He remains in stable condition. Donations are being collected to help Missouri Southern students get ready for their future careers. The Career Services Office at the university is collecting professional clothing items for the Dress to Impress event on February 26th. Students can receive items like slacks, blazers, dresses, and shoes. Since the event started more than a decade ago, organizers have collected more than 20,000 garments and helped more than 3,000 students prepare for the future.
They're living on campus, they're going to class, but they don't realize how many people in our community truly care about them being successful. And Dress to Impress is a very tangible event that shows how much their community wants to give them not just a handout, but a hand up to encourage them to be successful post-graduation.
Clothing donations are being accepted until February 24th. Organizers say they also need volunteers in the days ahead of and during that event. You can learn how to participate on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Still ahead, the health information you might have overlooked.
This Heart Month, I'm Michael George with why you should share the information you're tracking on your smartwatch with your doctor.
And research points to a potential unexpected benefit of some antidepressants. Those stories next in Health Watch.
Otis, you got enough tools to open.
Topping today's Health Watch, this Heart Month, wearable technology like smartwatches has made it easier for patients to monitor their heart health, their sleep, their diet, and exercise. But a new survey shows many patients are not sharing that critical data with the one person who should be in the loop, their doctor. Michael George has more.
When Sue Van Wassenhoef took a few falls at home, her children bought her a smartwatch to track her health.
I have some other health issues, but I have sleep apnea. And one of the things that's great is that this measures my heart rate and my breathing during the night. So I wear my watch 24/7.
So when the device flagged her heart rate was dropping several times at night, the 78-year-old made an appointment to see her cardiologist.
I got the alert with this great big exclamation point in yellow that I had gone below the danger zone, that I have it set. I told her that.
A new survey finds 2/3 of Americans use a device regularly to monitor heart health, with the smartwatch and portable blood pressure machine most popular. But just 1 in 4 share that data with their doctor, something Dr. Lakshmi Mehta with Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center says they should be doing.
These devices can give a lot of information. They're looking at their heart rate. If the heart rate is less than 50, that's going to be a cause of concern. Or if the heart rate is above 100 and you're sitting there relaxing, that's a concern as well.
While the technology is helpful, Dr. Mehta cautions it's not foolproof.
Heart rate and heart rhythm have been really tested and are much more validated, but there's other things like the oxygen level and temperature that data can vary a bit. Technologies are not to replace the visit with the physician.
Sue learned her smartwatch can capture an EKG, and the results can be sent to Dr. Mehta through her electronic medical chart.
That's just invaluable. It's a great way to participate in my health care.
And that gives her and her family peace of mind. Michael George, CBS News.
The doctors say since these devices have the potential to catch health issues earlier, patients might want to discuss any changes they see with their doctor sooner rather than waiting for their checkup. New research finds antidepressants like Prozac can also protect against serious infections and sepsis. Scientists at the Salk Institute say the drugs can regulate the immune system and defend against infectious disease. They believe the finding could lead to new drug treatments and boost global preparedness for future pandemics. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, why some stores might be rethinking their self-checkout procedures.
And of course, we're going to have more on this major winter storm moving in coming up next. Well, of course, a cold day for us today. Clouds thickening up across the region over the past several hours. The winds have been picking up, which is also going to be a problem with this storm. But right now we are dry. Of course, over the weekend, we got a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch of snow. So there's still a little whiteness out there, but in general, we're going to start fresh with this next system. Nice shot of the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Winter storm warning, the entire viewing area, and we are all going to have snow through the entire event. We do not have to deal with ice, which is good news. All right, the winds are going to be moving. So to have blizzard warnings, you really need gusts over 35 and pretty close to staying there. We are kind of right below that. So that does mean visibilities are going to be very low, and we're going to have blowing and drifting of snow. We could have drifts 3-4 feet across the region, but the winds, and this is going to make it feel even colder, winds gusting 20 to 30 really through the day tomorrow, and they stay near 20 all the way into Wednesday morning. So that means wind chill factors way down there. So let's move to tomorrow afternoon during our event. It's going to feel like -5, -10, -15 degrees. Wind chills near -20 by Wednesday morning, and they stay negative throughout the day. So a whole nother aspect of this storm system is going to be the bitterly cold temperatures. Snow starting to pick up north central Kansas. For us, we just have the clouds right now, pretty calm next several hours. Then once we get after midnight, things start to get going. We start to see some light snow showers picking up and increasing through the night. Here's 4 o'clock in the morning. Most of this light snow, maybe a couple little bands of moderate snow. Light to moderate snow continues. Here's 8 o'clock in the morning. Look at the teens. We've dropped into the teens now. And then as we go through the morning, the snow really starts picking up after 8 a.m. Now by noon, we're moderate to heavy snow, sitting into lower teens. Moderate to heavy snow continues through the afternoon. Let's go into the evening hours. We kind of trail back to light to moderate snow, but the snow doesn't even really start to push out of here until 10, 11 p.m. on Tuesday night. Clouds stick, actual temperature near zero on Wednesday morning. And look at this, Wednesday afternoon, actual temperature is only up to about 10 or 11 degrees, and we will get some light snow showers on Wednesday as well. Actual temperatures near -10 on Thursday morning. This should break record lows. And then as we go into Thursday, finally, our temperatures will start to warm up just a bit. All right, so in the purple, 9 to 13 inches. all this purple, and anywhere in the purple, we could pick up an isolated 13, 14, 15 amount. Southern counties 6 to 10, but again, isolated 11, 12-inch amounts. So on our snow-o-meter, all the way up to cabin fever, as most people are going to be snowed in, and this also means the roadways are going to be very bad. Next few hours, okay, they start getting tricky after midnight, and then bad in the morning, and then just strictly don't drive from that point on if you don't have to get out. Day planner, well, midnight high at 24, heavy snow all day long as we fall through the teens. So be very careful. I'm not expecting really power outages. I know the wind's going to be strong, but this is a fluffier, drier snow, so we don't see a lot of accumulation on power lines, which is good. Alert days for the next few days just due to the extreme cold, and we don't get above freezing until Saturday. So start dripping your faucets right now, because this extended period below freezing is not good for the pipes.
I know some people out there are thinking, well, I have four-wheel drive, I'm going to get through it fine, and at least some of those people are mistaken. They will not get through this if it gets.
Yeah, you don't want to get out if you don't have to.
That's definite. Thanks, Doug. Coming up, self-checkout might have gone too far in some cases. Now some major retailers are scaling. Topping today's Consumer Watch, at most major retailers that sell food, you can scan your own items, never talk to a cashier. But there are signs it might have gone too far in many cases, and now some stores are bagging self-checkout. David Wade reports.
It's a retail riddle. What's convenient but also a pain?
Help is on the way.
Where you pay
$99
to work. It's self-checkout and some love it.
It's quicker. 100% quicker.
While others loathe it. What do you think of self-checkout overall?
I think it sucks. An item isn't going to scan right. If you have a greeting card, the weight is all off, so they have to call somebody over.
For stores, it's supposed to be a cost saver. For customers, a time saver. But we may be at a crossroads. Some are now scaling back. Target recently told me we're rolling out express self-checkout with limits at 10 items and opening more traditional lanes. Walmart's saying it will improve the in-store experience and give our associates the chance to provide more personalized and efficient service. One of the big motivators for tweaking things is theft, as shoppers simply scan one item and then skip another.
And people aren't shy about admitting they'll help themselves at self-checkout. 15% of consumers admitted they purposely steal when ringing up their own items. And 44% of those people say they'll do it again.
So how do you prevent theft and keep shoppers happy?
We don't have any self-checkout lanes in any of our stores.
Not one in the 90 stores.
That's correct.
Joe Schmidt is the director of operations at Market Basket, which has 90 stores in Massachusetts.
Just got a response the other day from a customer that came in to say, please don't ever do self-checkout.
Experts say over time, new technology will make self-checkout better and more secure, which means it's never going away completely.
What's the key to getting it done without having to call for assistance?
Lower your expectations.
And that may be the best advice. David Wade, CBS News, Boston.
Before you check out tonight, we're going to have a final check of the forecast. That's next.
State hero.
Up next on the CBS Evening News, the hope one drug may provide for children with autism and why you haven't heard of it. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more on how 4-staters are stocking up on supplies in preparation for that big storm tomorrow. Plus, we're going to check in with a Miami facility providing shelter from the cold. And Missouri Southern Baseball takes on Missouri A&T. Yeah, it's baseball season. Doesn't feel like it, but it is. We're going to have the highlights. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. To reiterate, you're talking about a foot of snow potentially in some areas and in less than 24 hours. I mean, we're talking about in 15 hours from start to finish, a foot of snow.
Yeah, this is going to be definitely a big snow, but everybody should at least get close to 8 inches, and we are going to have some areas that get isolated 14, 15-inch amounts. So huge snow for us, of course. If you don't have to be out, don't go out. The roads will start getting a little tricky in spots by midnight, and then quickly go to bed, and then you just really don't want to drive if you don't have to after that point in time. Plus our temperatures, they're only going to be into the teens tomorrow. Alert days for the next 3 days, snow and extreme cold.
And the drifts are going to really pile up there. It's going to be dry, it's going to be windy, and the snow drifts are going to keep on climbing. Thanks for joining us. Please be careful out there. See you at 6. Let's make it a great evening.